Good afternoon, everyone. Ben here, and welcome back to my swing state analysis series. When today we're going to be looking at North Carolina, which is, well, if we look at it, it was red in 2016, it was red in 2012, it went for Barack Obama in 2008, but that was 10 years ago, and honestly, that was Turnout, and we've all heard North Carolina called, at least if you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you've heard North Carolina called a turnout state. By the way, that's the air conditioning in the background. So, what is a turnout state? Well, it's a state where both parties have a similarly sized base, but very, very few swing voters, which makes sense. There's a lot of voters whose behavior just doesn't change. For example, North Carolina, like a lot of the South, just has a lot of African American voters who are pretty reliably Democrat. But there's also a high percentage of religious, non-college educated whites who live in rural areas, and those are predominantly Republican, and there's more of them. So that offsets the margin by which Democrats win African Americans, right? And that's kind of the story of North Carolina, though it's a bit closer to, say, a Virginia makeup than it is to a Georgia or South Carolina makeup. And that means while Georgia is in the same category of inelastic states, and of course South Carolina is also in that category, truth is that North Carolina Democrats have a much easier chance of winning simply because it's based off of turnout. If they can turn out their entire base as well as convince the few swing voters to vote for them, they can easily win the state. The problem is it's much harder to turn out Democrats in North Carolina than it is, say, in Virginia or Maryland or Florida or New Mexico. Because it's a southern state. It really is. But there's also the whole we just pop into the full North Carolina results, while we see that the largest counties voted for Clinton, as soon as you start getting into the smaller counties, they definitely mostly voted for Trump with a few exceptions. However, interestingly enough, Democrat won the gubernatorial election in 2016. Which, if you look at the county map, looks a lot different. See all this that's lighter red? Actually, no, that's all deep red. Okay, flipping Watauga, New Hanover, Jackson County. Doing a little bit better over here, flipping Granville County. Doing okay in Raleigh. Did much better in Charlotte. Winning 63 versus 59. Pulling out 34 versus 37. But, of course, as you can see, it was still extremely close, and it looks like I don't think turnout was as high. Oh, that's the Senate race, too. That's weird. I was looking at the Senate race compared to presidential race. That's one mistake I made. But if you look at the Senate race, it went for Republican by more than president race did. But the governor went to the Democrat over an incumbent too. The state house went to, or not the state house, the U.S. House went to the Republicans, with Democrats winning 3 districts and the Republicans winning the rest. State Senate controlled by Republicans, State House controlled by Republicans, Lieutenant Governor, Republican, Agriculture, yeah, okay. I'm guessing this means that the appeals courts are nonpartisan, but that's never completely accurate. Well, that is awkwardly close. Supreme Court, of course, everybody's an independent. But North Carolina is that very weird state where it seems there was a decent amount of split ticket voting. Or some Democrats won and some Republicans won. But if we go down to the exit polls, I think this is just nationwide. Yeah, okay, this is just nationwide. Vote in a 2-party race. Dead even would not have voted. Wow. I'm not sure if this is the, yeah. Okay. So if we go back, well, that went too far. But anyway, if we go to North Carolina, we see that the research triangle, I'm trying to remember which 3 it is. I don't think it's Fayetteville. I know Charlotte and Raleigh are 2 of the points. Can't remember if it was Greensboro or Fayetteville. I think it was Fayetteville, though. If we look at the research triangle, the 3 points of it are very blue, but in between you've got a lot of red and a few parcels of blue. But that's just kind of the way it is in this state. And you've got this part near Virginia, that if we go here, we can see kind of spills over from some of that. But not really. Whoops. That was the wrong thing. But what we see is that North Carolina is just a turnout state, and it tends to go with the winner of the nation, as well as whoever is able to have a mutt, as well as whoever. It's really whoever turns out their base. So, with that being said, I find it hard to believe that North Carolina will vote for the Democrat in 2020 unless they're winning by a decent amount. And it is slightly more conservative than true, pure toss-up. So, in a perfectly even election, you would expect Republicans to win North Carolina. So, join me next week when I take on the state of Virginia, Old Dominion. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a nice day, and I will see you next time. Bye.